Hey, what's up guys? I'm Jerome Cordova and welcome to my channel. So, what are you doing here? What are we gonna learn about? What am I gonna talk about? Well, I kind of wanted to document everything in my life in terms of what I'm gonna do, simply because I'm gonna be making some big changes here in my life, and I kind of want to document it just so people could see my journey, okay? So I'm an entrepreneur, I'm also a physician, and I've dealt with a lot of marketing in terms of my businesses. I've hired a bunch of different companies and they just did not work out. They either did not quite do what I wanted, they are either doing too little, the quality's not great, it's not quite what I see in terms of my company marketing perspective. There's lots of things that I learned throughout my days as I was starting entrepreneurship. So I started a company called Viva IV Therapy in Scottsdale, Arizona. It's a medical spa that focuses on IV hydration, also does weight loss, NAD, microneedling, Botox, filler, and a lot of other things. It was very hard to market that. And I learned a lot throughout my time as a physician, but they never taught us how to do any marketing, and everything I had to do, I learned on my own. I learned how to create web pages, learned how to do SEO, started learning how to do video marketing, Facebook ads, Google ads, Snapchat ads, TikTok ads, doing everything from newspaper to magazine to radio, billboards. There's so much in terms of marketing that I just did not quite know, and I'm starting to do a lot of that myself. And I'm starting a bunch of new little ventures. So one thing that I started doing recently is a podcast called Scottsdale on the Rocks. I kind of wanted to create a local community to help businesses in terms of networking and also just to meet interesting people. So that's a small thing that I'm working on. But the bigger thing that I want to work on is marketing my business and helping others market their business. The knowledge that I have now, I wish I knew back then when I started my company, simply because I paid thousands and thousands of dollars that were just wasted in terms of these marketing companies that just don't do shit. And that's the reality. I use that word specifically because it was terrible kind of going through a lot of the things that I went through in terms of marketing, especially from a medical aspect. There's some good things that came from the marketing, and there's things that I hired some companies and they just did not work out. I wanted to create something that is influential and powerful and helpful to entrepreneurs, specifically in the medical field, and it could also help with other people not in the medical field, to be honest. So I start my journey here, and I wanted to create an intro video simply because I wanted to give you some kind of summary of basically what's going to happen on this channel and what you'll see, okay? So to give a little bit of baseline of who I am, so my name's Jerome. I'm a physician. I currently live in Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm from a town called Truchas in New Mexico. I grew up there, went to high school, went to the University of New Mexico. I got my undergraduate degree in chemical engineering, started my master's in chemical engineering as well, a biomedical aspect. From there, I went to medical school, and then right after medical school, I did my residency also at the University of New Mexico. After that, I went to Indianapolis. I worked for a group called Indiana Heart Physicians for a while at St. Francis Hospital. A beautiful place. I loved Indianapolis, living in downtown. It was nice. I lived by the canal. I also lived in a different part of downtown for a while. I learned a lot of lessons there. It was quite different, far away from family, so I decided to come back to this side of the United States. So I decided to come to Arizona just because New Mexico was a little bit small for me in terms of what I wanted to do. Arizona was a better fit. So that's the reason why I ended up in Arizona. I actually had a best friend who was living out here, came to visit him, and I said, hey, this is a great place, and I decided to move out here. So I've learned a lot in terms of business. I started a business called Viva IV Therapy, like I mentioned, medical spa here in Scottsdale, Arizona. I learned a lot from the marketing. I also was a medical director for two companies in Indiana, Timeless Injections and also New Youth Aesthetics. They have been a learning process in terms of working with different people. I try to boost anything that I work with as much as I possibly can. I'm starting a couple new ventures here in New Jersey and New York pretty soon, and it's been a roller coaster for sure. All of this I've been doing well. I'm also working at the hospital, so I work for a group here in Arizona. I'm doing critical care at the moment, and really learning that I need to do more in terms of my businesses, and I want to help people as much as I possibly can along the way, and I think these videos will help do that in some way, okay? So this is kind of narrative of basically my life and what's going to happen now. So this is my first YouTube video on my personal Instagram. And I'm on personal YouTube and Instagram and TikTok. I'm going to kind of be across different platforms, but I am going to also offer something called Dr. Cordova. So that will be a separate YouTube channel. So that will be a YouTube channel dedicated to just giving advice on different medical issues specifically. I have a lot of knowledge on just basically kind of everything in terms of the medical field. So I want to give normal layman's terms explanation for a lot of different things that will be helpful in terms of, you know, helping with a urinary tract infection or helping with an upper respiratory infection or whatever it happens to be. I want to be helpful in some way. So I'm going to be doing a lot of different things all at once, and I kind of wanted to document this so that way you could kind of see a little bit of piece of my day, and you could understand how these companies kind of flow, and you could understand the marketing and all the different things that go into it. So it's a lot of effort, and I'm going to try my hardest to make things happen in terms of this. I just can't wait to show you the journey. So be ready. Let's go. All right.